So first we'll see today how to find out the factorial of a number. So for this task, you need to ask the user one input, and for that input you need to get the factorial of that number. Normally what we need to do, our input we need to ask, let us consider that input we will be storing in a variable called n, and suppose the n value you have given as 5. Then what is our expected output? Our output should be 5 factorial. Can anyone of you tell me what is the factorial of 5? I think you all know what do you mean by a factorial. Normally our output should be like, you will be getting an output of 120. Yeah, very good. But how you are getting this 120? Normally, what do you mean by that one? 5 factorial. You will be finding this 5 factorial. What do you mean by this one? You will be multiplying the numbers. 1 should be multiplied with 2, should be multiplied with 3, and then it should be multiplied with 4, and then it should be multiplied with 5. So we need to stop up to the given number. We need to start from a number called 1. And from 1, we need to continue multiplying with the next number. And we need to stop up to our number called 5. And that is called as 5 factorial. I think you all are clear with it. We all know this mathematical formula of finding a factorial. Now what we'll say is, we will write a logic for finding this factorial of a number. So our input will be stored in n, and let us display for this n, we will be writing some logic, and after going through that logic, you need to display the factorial of our number. So as an example, I have taken 5 and you will be getting an output called 120. Okay, so let us write on the logic first. So what will be our logic? If you see here, we are storing our variable in n. I don't want to write all the statements. First, let us concentrate on the, or else let me write on the program. In detail, I'll write the program. It will be useful for you also. So we'll be writing void main. Don't go about the syntax error. Don't worry about the syntax errors. I think you all are clear with the syntax errors. Okay. Now, what we need to do, we need to ask the user a number. So we need to read only an integer variable, because factorial we need to find for the integer variable only. So I am declaring that variable as int. Okay. So let us ask the user what we need to write, printf. I think these are all the basic things. You all know these things, but still I am writing enter a value. And after that, we will be reading the value in a variable called n. I think by this time you all are familiar of doing writing these statements, right? Now we have our number in n, and once our number is available in n, now we need to write down the logic to perform this task. Now, if you observe here, is there any scenario, or did you observe anything which is repeating? Like if you take this number has to be incremented, and that number has to be multiplied with this number, and again this number has to be incremented one more time, and that has to be multiplied to the already existing number. Are you understanding? If you observe here, there is a same process we are doing repeatedly, and that process is multiplication operation we are doing, and one more task we are doing is we are incrementing. We need to multiply with the previous number, which has to be incremented by 1. That is the task. If you consider one thing, if you consider this one as I, let us consider, then I has to be multiplied with I plus 1. Isn't it or not? Got it? So I will be using an iterative statement to perform this task, because we are performing the same task. Iterative statement is nothing but if you want to perform the same task more than once, then we can go with the iterative statements like while, do while, and for. So here we are performing the same task of multiplication operation, and if you observe here, there is an approach like I has to be multiplied with I plus 1, and if you observe here, I has to be multiplied with I plus 1. Right? Got all of it? So same thing we are doing. So to have this approach, I will be using an iterative statement. You can go with while, do while, or for, anything you can use. So to reduce the number of statements in my program, I'll be going with the for statement. Okay. Now, what I want to do is I want to store the total I want to store the total product, whatever I am getting, in a variable called f. For our reference, f, why I have taken f? Because factorial we are going to find, and f stands for factorial. Like that I am going to do. Now, I will be considering the I value starting from what? 1, isn't it or not? So, I will be taking the, are you observing here? I value should start from 1 and it should end with 5. So, I will be taking a variable called I, and it should start with 1 and it should end with less than or equal to 5. Where the 5 has stored? The 5 has stored in n. So, we will be writing n, and in each iteration, the I has to be incremented by 1. Okay, now here we need to write down our logic behind this one, factorial, to perform the multiplication. So what I want to do is, I told you I want to take one new variable called f, and for this f, for at each iteration, I want to multiply this I value. Okay, I want to multiply this I value at each iteration. Now what happens? Can you tell me what happens? Initially it has to be, yeah, it can be anything. It can be anything, pre-post or post increment or pre-increment. But make sure like you are using correctly. Like I think you all know the difference between pre-increment and post-increment. If you are combining that one in an expression, then the way you are using should be used carefully. But if you are using alone, plus plus I or I plus plus, both mean the same. Okay, if you are only using plus plus I, or if you are only using I plus plus, that is same. Both means I equal to I plus 1 only. But if you are combining this pre-increment and post-increment with another variable or in an expression, then you should be more careful. Okay, now if you see here, I want to multiply one value with this f value, and I want to store the complete value in the f for the first iteration. So I want to make this to be preserved as 1 only. To do the task, what I want to do is, initial value of f, I will take it as f value, I will take it as 1. Now what happens? 1 star 1. What happens? It will be 1. So that now I will write here what happens initially. Let me take a table. Now initially f value, initially I have taken the f value as 1. Observe carefully all of you. So initially f value is 1. Are you understanding? Now I'll take one more I value. Now initially what is the I value? I value is 1. Now what we are doing, f star 1. What is f value? As of now f value is 1, and 1 star 1 is multiplied, and that in turn is stored in f. So you will be getting a value of 1. Got all of you? Now what happens once this statement is done? There are no other statement. This is so the loop will come here. I value will be incremented. So I value is 1 now. That will be incremented to 2. Okay. Now what happens? Yes, 2 is less than 5 according to our input. Now what happens? It will come here. F star I. What is f? F is containing this one value. 1 star. What is our I value? 2. 1 star 2 is 1 star 2 is 2. Got it? Now again I value will be incremented. I value will be now 3, and 3 is less than n. Now come here, f star 2, 2, 2. F value is 2 star. I value is 3. 2 threes is, for your understanding, I'll write like this. Shall I write like this? Okay. So now what happens? 1 star 2 is 2 star. What is the I value? 3. You will get that value, and I value will be incremented to 4. I'll add 2 more columns. Okay. Now I value will be incremented to 4, and you will be getting a value of 6 star. Okay. 4. Sorry, 6 star 4, and I value will be incremented to 5. Yes, 5 is less than or equal to 5. Still, you will be getting 24 multiplied with 5, and you will be getting I value as 6. And in this case, what happened? The condition is not satisfying. So you will be not entering into this loop. You will be coming out of this loop. Now, once you come out of this loop, what we need to do? You need to display your factorial value. Where you have your factorial value that is 24 multiplied by 5, which is equal to 120, that is stored in F. So simply you store that value. What you need to, simply you display that value. What you need to write? Printf factorial is equal to percentage D, and where the value has stored, the value is stored in F. Simply you need to display the F. That is our program. I hope this factorial program is clear to you all. Why I have written F equal to F star I, and why I have taken the I value, F value as 1, because any number that is multiplied with 1 initially will be the same number. We want to get the same number. If you take the value as 0, the overall value if you are multiplying with 0 will be 0 itself. Okay, so that's why I've taken the F value as 1, and I think I need to declare the I value also. And here you go. This is the complete program of your finding the factorial of a number. Got it, all of you? Understood? Okay. Note down this program. I'll reduce the font size. Okay. Note down this program, all of you.